seem so cool, calm, but like in that moment, I'm like, I was my pants for you.
Yeah. Good to go?
We're hot to go.
Ready to roll? Righto, welcome back to the Better Down Back podcast. Yes, it seems impossible, but we've actually done it, and we've done it. We've got a defender on. They said it couldn't be done, and we've got Brian Jerry Cox here. That's not his real name, it's just a nickname.
First back to come on.
You are, yeah. Sorry, guys, he's just pulling his mic a bit closer. He's sitting back, leaning against the wall. But no, we got him. So yes, it's a great pleasure to have you on board, Coxy. And
Pleasure's all mine.
Yes, how good. I'm so excited. We finally got a defender at 3:30 on a Thursday afternoon. Maybe it's the afternoon time slots that we're going to have to look for in the future. But Coxy, you pumped to be on?
Yeah, I am. I would have come on any time for you guys. So yeah, I'm super pumped.
Sorry, you actually our fifth pick. That's fine. Have you listened to any of the Better Down Back so far?
Just a little snippets on Instagram.
Yeah.
But,
Okay,
that's
nice.
sort of
I actually half watched the first one.
Yeah, right, great.
and then had enough and turned it off by the sounds.
Had to get a dad duty.
Of course. Are you a bit nervous about some of the goss that we might have received on you?
No, I'm an open book.
He's an honest man.
But anyway, touching on last week, we had Andy on, and we've received a lot of mail about the Honky Nuts and what they actually could have got their name from. And my grandma actually sent me a text the other day
What'd she say?
to let me know, and I can read it here. It says, while I'm pulling this up, also, Andy wasn't happy about the full-length photo on Instagram.
I know. Also, I'd be filthy if I was him. Like, the dogs were out, but also, Jordan, I was just speaking that where you're sitting at the moment, Coxy, there's actually still
Leftover puddles
from Andy's feet because he was sweating profusely.
He's a chronic sweater with the feet and hands.
But I also don't know why he wasn't wearing shoes as well. That was questionable. So be prepared if you are asked to be on the podcast. You need to cover your dogs because there are full-length pics.
Yes. No.
What did your grandma say?
Oh, yeah, sorry, getting back to that. So Grandma has hit me with the Jord. In WA, the Honky Nuts are a corruption of hockey nuts because of their use in a game without a ball.
Oh, my God. Grandma, what's her name?
Trish,
Thank you for that insight.
I don't know whether Grandma sent me that or that's my armchair expert granddad having a bit to say, and Grandma's had to pass that on to me. I'm not sure, but open for discussion. We could have other feedback about what they are. And
really interesting. You call them honky nuts, right?
What?
the gum tree nuts.
The gum tree. Instead of gum nuts, like I feel like in WA you call them honky nuts or?
I've got no idea.
No idea.
He's SA born, so we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But anything else happening around the traps that we need to know about? We do have Seba's 100th game this week.
Yes, great.
Yeah, a little segue into him in a minute, but yeah,
Nothing
Seba's
else is
100th
really-
game. Irish boys are leaving us today.
Yes, we did touch on them last week. They did have their time trial on the weekend. Does anyone know how they went? Have they fitted in well in the group?
Yeah, they have. They've been really good value.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sad to see them go, but
Great.
I don't know how their time trial went on it.
Yeah, no, I think they went pretty well. I think one of them ran some low threes. And
I do have a funny story about one of them, the younger one, 18-year-old. What was his? Sorry.
Owen.
Owen was speaking to one of our Irish players as well. And the innocence came out in Owen as he asked her if she got paid cash in hand. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. And then all I did have to proceed to explain, no, we're contracted. We get a bank transfer.
Yeah, that's the old amateur Gaelic footballers who get paid.
But it's actually amazing, though, to see that they actually just play for the love of the game and there's no incentive there at all. Like, I find that mind-boggling.
Don't be so innocent.
That's so mind-boggling.
They definitely get a little bit under the table, cash in hand.
Sure, but I'm saying...
Here's a car.
Yeah, but how it's not professional, though, like, that's wild to me. It's so big over there.
No, it's actually, it is funny.
It
is
funny.
Thank
you.
No, it's crazy how it works because some counties, I think, how it works, they'll explain to me. You could be in a really good county and you could be the top 40 players in your county, but you could be in a lesser county and be one of the best players. You get an opportunity to play in this championships, but because you're in this county and you're better than this bloke, you don't get to play because you're not in the best team.
What?
So it's funny how it all works.
There you go. Well, they just
crazy.
need to move to Australia and play AFL, I think.
Oh, I hope
Sign
they
them
come back. They've shown some good signs. And
A good value. Pretty
they
funny.
are. good lads.
Great, perfect.
Yeah.
Other than that, not much is happening.
But anyway, we'll get into this one, Coco. The anchor's in action.
Hey, put on your Superman coat, boy. It's Wolfie time. Let's go. You
You haven't listened too much, and so this segment is about someone around the club who is an unsung hero. Does a lot of stuff and doesn't get a lot of recognition. Who wants to go first this week?
I can kick us off.
Beautiful.
Alrighty, so I have nominated Liv Palmer and Tanya Armstrong from our media team. So they're both media managers here at the club. Liv has had some external stresses this week, but has still managed to show up, smile on her face and get the job done. We had a photo shoot with Fox Footy and she was so organised, everything printed out. Obviously loves her job, but also loves us players and she's just incredible. So shout out to those two legends.
Well done, Liv.
This is an easy. Is this just by this week or is this the whole?
Whole year round, any day, any
This is
time.
an easy one for me. I said this one in the record on the weekend as well, but Paul Salas.
Oh, Paulie has won it already.
Yeah, that's my man.
The amount of work he does behind the scenes and never complains and stuff is, it's huge. And he does, a lot of work that goes unrecognised, I think.
Yep.
From the broader community.
I also feel like Paulie's just the type of bloke that just talks to everyone. Just we'll have a yarn. You talk about absolutely anything with him. I feel like he's very trustworthy as well. I feel like you'd really dive into the deeper meaningfuls with him.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a great bloke.
He's a great man, Paulie. And mine this week, I'm going to go for Moose, the skipper.
Yes, lovely.
Obviously, been struck down with back-to-back injuries, and it's not ideal coming in this part of the year. But the way he's still been able to lead, and you wouldn't know that he's disappointed or he's upset that he's not playing or anything like that. Happy to help. Their game day coaching, every bit of advice. So mine's going to the skip this week. And yes, he's contributing quite well.
I think I love
Sorry,
that.
I choked on that a little
No,
bit.
I don't know if you were starting to cough or something. I was like, do I have to save him here?
There will be a cough coming.
No, I absolutely love that you've given Alex a shout out because I think we're using this saying in the girls program at the moment that every dog needs a pat. And every dog, shouldn't be calling each other dogs, but every dog needs a pat. And I think it's important that you still acknowledge that your leaders and your, I guess, experienced players and people that are showing up consistently each week get a pat as well. So well done, Jordan. I like it.
Every dog needs a bone. Fish needs some food. Could go on. Every cat needs some kills.
Okay, anyways, we are going to talk about the RAC Derby.
Just before that, we did miss something here. JT, sign on till 2030.
Yeah.
How good is that?
Well done remembering.
I was just thinking about that.
Absolutely
great
amazing.
news.
And the response in the lecture theatre, was that this morning?
Yep.
That was funny.
How was that?
It was good. Everyone was up and about. Stoked to have him.
So good.
Yes.
Rhino was doing this one in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, money bags.
Snee was backing up the truck. Put all the pay.
Beautiful.
If you've got a house in Como, line it up for JT, I reckon.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. But we are going to move on to the RAC Derby review. So, boys, how was the weekend? How did it feel out there? And obviously coming away with the 4 points even better. But talk us through the game.
It was good. Obviously, you got challenged in that first half, which was pretty similar to the first Derby. But I think the way we were able to handle it this time was speaks volumes about the group and the maturity. They were able to just keep playing our football and were able to break them in the end. And it was good to get the win.
And obviously, it was so feisty out there. There was a few
few
fights, flying around. I don't know, any of you two get fined or?
No, I was stuck on the bench. So that was actually pretty
brilliant.
handy. Keep the wallet nice and shut.
All the flights are too far away.
No, that's fair. But I feel like feisty game, lots of energy and pressure in that first half. I suppose you spoke about the second half, Coxy, but I want to know what the messaging was at halftime from JL and the coaching staff, but as well as how did you boys regroup in the change rooms then?
We're all pretty positive, I think. There was a thing at stoppage that we could have tidied up, but the energy was good and all the boys were keen to get back out there and just keep playing our way.
Yeah, nice.
Energy was good.
Yeah. No, the first quarter was probably a little bit, we handled it a lot better than we probably previously had. The leaders in the back line and Coxy and Lukey and that sort of thing were, very constructive with their feedback and to the point. And, I feel like as a group, where we're going, that feedback, the way it was delivered and the way everyone took it on board and moved on, problem solved, yeah, like Coxy touched on, shows the growth within the group and, how we can problem solve together on the go. And, yeah, I think at half-time, three-quarter time and that, it was, very positive, and as the players are really excited about the opportunities that are in front of us. That was a finals-like pressure, intensity, that sort of game. And, we had to... Well, they weren't just going to roll over, so we had to beat them. And, I feel like we did and held up really well.
I think it's good that you guys all anchored back to, I guess, those key messages that you would have spoken about in the week, but just the preparation coming in, knowing that you were playing a completely different Eagles side in the sense that they've had they had a lot of players come back in. You had Waterman, Yo back in. So I think it was great that, and I guess all the hype's about Harley Reid. I think it was great that you didn't let that get to you. And I think those external kind of noise was put aside because I think that second half was just all about Freo footy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, and... it was certainly fun being out there in the second half, that's for sure.
But anyways, let's just go through some key moments of the game. Anything that you wanted to know before we get into it, Coxy?
Jeez, I don't really remember much from the game.
That's what I was saying before.
I remember Clarky in that D50 ground ball.
Yes.
I was about 10 metres in front of Clarky and he ended up 15 metres in front of me.
How good's that? Like, you're on the treadmill.
It felt like I was like, I'm gonna get this, and then Clarky comes flying past it. No, that's about it.
I want to unpack that though, because that is something that you've ran 100 metres to then try and pick up this ground ball, bobbling ball within the 9. What went through your head, whether to rush it versus pick it up. Obviously, like, it's so stressful at that time, but also the new rule with it being called deliberate. Talk us through what was going through your head.
I was there for the handball too. I was right next to you.
Yeah, right. Well,
Tell us.
Obviously, you're running back to goal like that and you can't see anything but the ball about, all I could see was outside the goal square. So if you rush it through from there, it's clearly deliberate.
Yeah.
So, in my head I actually tried to pick it up one-handed, be
Sure.
real clean and look sexy and that sort of thing.
And
didn't pick it up, nearly paddled it through for a point, slipped over. But in the back of my mind, I knew that if it went through for a point, it was deliberate.
Yes. So you were trying not to rush it.
And then obviously got to play on the ball and then saw Sharpie, so I just belted it out to Sharpie and then he picked it up and handballed me a mongrel along the ground. So that was actually where I was most nervous, was like, this is going to go through my legs or something.
Just like, if you're not your pants, I'm my pants for
and then,
you.
and as soon as I picked the ball up, I was like, that's fine now. And they sort of pressed me, and I knew full well that as soon as he gets to me, I can just turn and handball it over.
I think you had Petrocelli chasing you as well, didn't you? So
oh my God.
So I had a plan in my head.
Meanwhile, Coxy's standing there barking.
I was wide open in the goal square.
And I'm not usually known for my smarts or anything, but I did have a plan in my head. Was that I know he's chasing me, so if I just get the ball and he tackles me, I can just fall over the line or something like that. So, ended up nearly paddling.
Surely
one over
you would have been fine to paddle it through though, from where the ball ended up. Like after you tried to scoop it.
I think there's a pressure thing involved, and when the ball actually was dead stopped, it was outside the 9. So
I think old mate played it well though, because he stood.
Yeah.
Was it Petrocelli that was chasing?
I think so.
That was standing off you, so he wasn't pressing up, so you couldn't just either step it over or knock it.
But
anyways, interesting one. But we are saying well done on your 100-metre sprint effort. It was going to be my McFarlane medal for today, but it's not going to be because we've talked about it too much.
Yeah. But no, we did have a few other things. Tommy Emmett back in the side, kick 3. Freddie was also electric up forward himself. Yeah, some good stuff from our forwards on the weekend, and I think they sort of speak for themselves. They're all getting on the receiving end and getting rewarded for their effort that they're putting in, and we don't really need to touch on that too much because they're forwards. And
it's been
they get enough of the limelight.
Yeah, one thing we do need to celebrate: a fellow back brother has received a Rising Star nom. Drapes.
Yes, so good.
Coxy, have you done a bit of work with Drapes? What are you seeing him? What are his strengths? Are you excited for what he can bring in the future?
Yeah, especially since coming back. But that Sydney game especially, just when he backed himself and he's decisive in the contest. How good he is. I thought he should have run Rising Star for that game, but he's got a really bright future ahead. And you can see just the talent he brings, and not only defensively, but when he gets the ball and attacks, the way he drives at the contest is really good. So for a 19-year-old or however old he is, he's playing really well.
Amazing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but when you were out with your hamstring, Coxy, did you help mentor Drapes a little bit through that period? And I suppose what sort of work did you guys do one-on-one or in the education room to help him?
Just a couple of clips. I think mainly with Moose.
Cool.
Mainly with Moose. A lot of time in training where I was running laps. But yeah, just trying to give him some pointers, especially now on game day. Trying to keep him composed and in the game. But yeah, he's playing really well. It's good.
Absolutely. Well done, Drapes.
Mm.
And
Yeah, go on.
I've got to
Smart
stitch you up
ass.
here. I'm going to read it word for word. Clarky walked off the field and into the rooms with the RAC Derby trophy. I heard you demanded it. Give it to
I was
me.
actually, I was left with the baby. And, all the boys found the trophy too heavy, so I had to carry it off for them.
Oh, God.
When called upon, sometimes you just got to do it, Em.
Well, mate, Caleb's shoulders were too sore from carrying the team, so he's handed the load off.
No, it was a team effort, no individuals.
No, I'm kidding. I was waiting for you.
You don't individualise.
How'd that feel, though? The honour of walking it back down into the rooms.
Yeah, just practising for when we get to carry the real silverware off,
course.
Just need to nail it. But
It was absolutely unreal.
Yeah. Enough of that. We're getting into Coco. So
Okay.
the upbringing, there's a couple of stories to your life, Coco. Obviously, we'll start with the upbringing and footy journey. But originally from Woodville in South Adelaide, played for Woodville West Torrens in the Samful. Some great AFL names have come out of that club. Any you've still playing with currently?
With West Torrens.
Yeah.
Rick.
Yep.
Rick was from there.
So good.
Pav was from there.
Yep.
Cam Sutcliffe.
Yes.
Freo flavour.
I can't think of anyone else.
No. All right.
I just want to hear about Coxy's. Are you going to go through the last point first?
This is the footy.
Okay.
Yeah, the footy journey before we. Do you want?
No, I just wanted to hear it from his perspective. But no, read out your last
And then
point.
he obviously represented South Australia from then in the 2016 Under-18 champs. And then, your footy journey blossomed from there. But talk us through your sort of that journey from Woodville, growing up around there. You grew up in the pub, family pub.
This is a great one. We've joined this point up. Like, we want to hear about Coxy's family pub, Land of Promise.
Yeah.
Talk us through this.
So recently sold, actually. So mum and dad have retired, which is good. But they've owned that for over 30 years.
Wow.
I part-time work there as well. So there's a front bar and a back bar, and out the back, at the front bar was family friendly, and out the back was 18 plus. And so I started working in the front bar, and then as I got older, moved to the back bar, which is good.
You can say that. That's great.
And then it was drafted.
Yeah.
But what about your, like what George mentioned, like when you played for Woodville West Torrens? Like, talk us through your junior footy journey and then how you ended up, obviously, trialling for your state 18s and then getting through that pathway.
Yeah. So I think state 16s, I originally didn't get picked for my age group. And then the year later, they're allowed 2 overages, I think it was. So then I got called back to play as an older player, and then having to have a pretty good carnival as a backman. And then, I went away, played forward at Eagles, and just school and stuff. And then the next year got asked out again with my actual age group, as a defender. And then, had another really good carnival. Ended up making the All Oz team.
Amazing.
And then, went back to Eagles and played forward again. Didn't do too much, to be honest. So, that was about it, really. And they got pretty much just drafted off my state carnival, pretty much.
Sure. And then talk us through that kind of draft day experience. And I guess leading up to the draft, how you were feeling. Did you know where you were going to get picked up to, or you had absolutely no idea?
I had a fair inkling. I met with a fair few clubs. Couldn't just sit at home. Was pretty nervous. So I went to a friend's house.
Not to the pub?
Actually did go to the pub. And then, went home and all my friends came over and all my family, and we ended up watching it at mine and, getting picked to Freo.
Nice. So how did you work? So you just said you finished your 18th year playing as a forward at the Eagles. Yeah?
Yeah.
You were picked in the All-Australian team as the best halfback for your age in the country, and you're local teams just then thrown you at full forward, and you just said that I didn't really do much.
Yeah.
Talk us through that. Like, is
Sense.
that my head was spinning a bit there. What was the coach thinking?
So when I got picked up as the overager, I was a forward, and then they picked me and said, we're going to try you down back, and then had a really good carnival, and then pretty much just went away and was a forward again, and then...
But why? Like, why wouldn't they play you back?
I'm not sure. It's
That's
just,
so
I didn't
random.
question any of the coaches. I just played, and then got called out to state again, and they said, we're going to play down back, and then...
So you're a forward turned back, and what do you prefer?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I prefer back. Yeah.
But when you were drafted, coming into the four walls at Freo, I set on being a forward or a defender.
Didn't
really know, just wanted to play.
Just wanted to play footy.
Yeah.
I think, well, when I ended up playing, I was the forward again for the first 3 years.
Yeah, well, I was literally about to rattle that off. Yeah, played forward mostly for the first 3 seasons before making the permanent move in 2020.
Yep.
Then obviously 2022 as a defender was a huge season for you. You were runner-up in the Doig behind Andy and an All-Oz squad member.
Wow.
So that's quite an achievement, and it turns out that you're a very good defender.
So he's going to stay there.
So hopefully you're staying there. Well, he did start forward this year as well, which is you're quite the swingman. But have you gone to JL, knocked his door down, and said, "All right, enough's enough. I'm playing in defence."
When I did my injury, I said I'm strictly playing defence, strictly back shoulder. Never playing forward because Harris Andrews pushed me in the back. So I was only joking with JL, but he seemed to agree.
But are you kind of dinkum on playing defence?
Yeah, I like playing defence. Yeah, and when I first got drafted, we didn't really have, all our tall timber was pretty much injured up forward, so sort of had to fill a role. And that sort of happened for the first 3 years. And then when JL got to the club, he pretty much wanted, or just pull me in and said, where do you think you play your best footy? And where do you feel most comfortable? And I told him that probably down back. And then ever since then, he's put me down back. But he was, when he first got to the club, he wanted to give me the best opportunity. He would same with everyone to be the best footballer they can. And
right.
Have
you ever played both positions in one game? Both of you, either of you? Have you played forward?
I actually have. And I didn't get a kick. I actually did it against Freo. Yeah.
Right, played forward and back. Yeah, okay. How hard did you find that, or even for you, Coxy, even if it wasn't in the same game, but flipping that mindset? Obviously, George didn't get a kick and said, put me back.
Oh, at that point, I'd played about 12 games, so just said, put me anywhere.
No, but I guess talk us through that mindset and how it does change, but then how you've adapted across the years.
I haven't really done... Hawthorn last year played forward and then went down back for the end of the game, but that was a +1, so I don't think that counts, but...
Easier, harder? Like what?
I think probably not playing forward for so long and then going out and then playing and you just don't know any of the leading patterns and it's hard to get a read on the play and judge the ball. So I think it'd take a few games to get used to it, but just to go out and play one game as a forward after not playing for so long would be
really
pretty
tough.
Yeah.
Yes, and then obviously here, the other side of you is you're a dad. Recently, how old is little Arlo now?
Just turned 4 months. So
this is what he's keen to talk about. Look, he's glowing.
And how has being a dad to Arlo changed your life up until this point?
It's been pretty good. He's sleeping really well. Key's been amazing through the whole lot. Just amazing to see what she does. Just feels like it all comes naturally to her, but she's going really well. Really shouldering the load, I guess, when I'm away, and having the hammy sort of with a bit of a silver lining. Got to stay home for the first 3 weeks of his life, and then able to work out what works for us as a parents and a couple for helping to raise Arlo. But going as he gets more and more. As he starts to give more and more back to you, it's harder to go to work every day. So, but he's gone really well.
No, but I love that you brought up that silver lining of, yes, you had an injury, but I think you obviously had to flip the way you were thinking in the sense that you could actually then be a dad for that period of time. And I think that just puts an emphasis on how important it is to have your partner's family, other things happening outside of football that can get you through those tough times. I suppose, would that be something you put it to? In order for you to get back, you really relied on Kia and Arlo through that period, and how'd you get through that tough time?
Yeah, when I was getting carried off through the race, that was the thing that first come to my mind. That I'd have Arlo there. Would have been a bit tricky if Kia went into labour as I was.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was 4 days later she was into labour, so she went 4 days over, which actually helped out.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
She is a superstar.
She's held on.
She was sick of it, but I was like, thank God. Yeah, but definitely having that, something to come home to every day and, just brightens up your world. And just, even if you're having like a really bad day or something, you go home and he's smiling at you is really cool.
I love that. And Arlo, the name Arlo, I wanted to ask you about. Did you guys have how did you pick the name? Talk us through this process. Was it all Kia? Did you have some input? Tell us how it worked.
So I gave up 2 names to Kia.
Yep.
We were pretty much on the same wavelength. But I gave 2 names to Kia and she picked. But he's actually named after a dog we saw at a park. So that was it.
How good's telling him that in 10 years' time?
There's
a few Arlos going around now.
You want to be a good-looking dog.
Yeah.
What sort of dog was it?
It's a golden retriever. It was pretty good.
Oh, you'll cop that. You'll cop that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we got the name from. But there's a few Arlo's becoming a pretty popular name, I think, going around. I think Phil Merriman's kid is Arlo.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
So,
Beautiful.
So, through the short time of being a dad, what's been the easiest or the hardest thing
Nice
about
question.
being a dad? Like harder or anything easier than you expected or harder than you expected?
Harder. Changing nappies are actually pretty easy at this stage because they're
Nice.
not on solids. We thought that would be the hardest, but apparently when they start going to solids, it gets a lot worse. Probably the hardest was the early days when he wasn't sleeping and had to get up. Like at the hospital was pretty. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
How good's for the rest of me?
But he's actually a really good sleeper, so we got pretty lucky.
Yay.
Yeah, but no, he's pretty chill, to be honest.
So you'd say the sleep and sleep deprivation in that first little period.
Yeah. Well,
hardest part.
Well, Key was breastfeeding as well, so
Yeah.
I couldn't really do too much at night because he'd wake up and Key
she'd
would
have to
feed,
go.
So, it would have been a lot tougher on Kia, but I was pretty cool. I got the old tap on the shoulder. Go, get up and change the nappy.
All right.
Yeah.
No, that's great. He's worked the front bar, he's worked the back bar, he's a forward and back and a dad. He's the man of many talents.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then, you sort of touched on it about how good Kia has been and that. And, have you got this might be a small chance to really pump her up and really let us know the real Kia and everything she's done sort of through this period as well. Is there anything you know that you would love to put out there?
Don't stuff this up, Coxy. She's listening.
Good chance to pump her up.
Oh, just everything I've mentioned there, just like all the little stuff, like breastfeeding during the night and waking up, once or twice a night to breastfeed. And then, when I'm obviously here, it can't be easy looking after someone 24/7. So, it's pretty tough on her, but she's handling it really well. And she's all over everything, like everything she's learnt, read books, watched videos.
Amazing.
So, yeah, she's really carrying the load and teaching me as well as we go because, it's first timers for us. So.
But then also your job is also amazing and you'll be inspiring Arlo as well as he grows up, knowing his dad did this for a job, but also that's the reason, you play as well now for your family and for him to see that he can grow up with whatever dream he wants, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. It's given me a lot more purpose to, we all have a purpose as players and that just adds to my purpose and, hopefully he can play really well and then hopefully he can remember a few games and, it'll be exciting. And
hopefully he doesn't have some of the hiccups that you had in your childhood, Coxy, because we've got a few stories here that we just have to go over now. I'm going to start with one from your sister Kelly. I'm going to read the text message that Kia has passed on to me from Kelly. And I want you to talk us through this. The police once came to do a welfare check on our family to make sure our parents were looking after their children because of Brennan. When he was 3 years old, he woke up, got dressed, left the house on his own to go to the pub at 7 a.m. He made it to the service station about 1 kilometre away before a member of the public stopped him. Because the police had been notified that there was a missing child, they had to do a welfare check on all of us. Please explain this story.
Yeah, so how old is I? 3.
3.
I remember putting my boots on. This is a crazy memory, actually. I remember this. I remember putting my boots on and going, I want to go to work with Dad. So I put my boots on and snuck out. My sister was looking after me. I snuck out the front door and started walking to the pub, which was, I don't know, 13-minute walk or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Done it a
and
few
then-
times.
And then I crossed
He knows.
the road, and then I remember getting there and not remembering which way to go to get to the pub, and I ended up walking the wrong way, and then got stopped at this petrol station.
At 3. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. That is wild. Well, you will not be letting Arlo do something like that. The doors will be locked.
I was a hard worker from a young age. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Transform your home into a smart home and save money with MyPlace.
MyPlace. Aircon Smarts reduces power, costs, and transforms your house into an energy-efficient, fully connected home, controlled by a smartphone app.
The MyPlace system can integrate with smart lights to set the vibe from the bed, the couch, or wherever.
The garage, so you'll never forget to shut the roller door.
Smart curtains, automated to sunshine and heat.
And security, to see who's at the door.
MyPlace is truly affordable, comfort and control.
Get MyPlace today. Google MyPlace by Advantage Air. So now, Coco, we're into the new segment. Thanks to our friends at MyPlace. It's we get our guests to build their ultimate Freo player. So you got to use the 4 attributes of any of your teammates, yourself if you want. Strength, aerial, star power, and vision.
What's star power mean?
So like, X Factor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we did have one back that we go, Walk's got a vote for that. I can't even speak. Walk's got a vote for that a few weeks ago, but usually it's the forwards that are getting those votes. But also, make what you want of it. We'll start with strength.
Strength. I'll take relative strength, or just doesn't matter.
Whatever you want to make of it, mate. It's your Freo player.
I'm going to take Patrick Voss.
Yeah, he's first picked every
He's
time.
literally, he's going to be loving
He's
this.
going to love himself silly.
I was going to take Sean, but I think Patrick Voss.
Okay.
Aerial?
Ariel, I'll take it back. I'll take Drapes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you might have
Yeah,
given
the
Luke here,
yeah.
right?
I'll
Luke,
give-
you would've got it.
I'll give the Riding Stars.
Star power?
What's the last one?
Vision.
Star power. I'll take Sunny
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And vision.
and Vision. Does that mean like can see kicks and stuff?
I
Or
guess you
sees
can-
the game well, however you want to
I'll
interpret.
take Lukey.
Yeah.
Here you go.
That's fair enough.
Okay, that's
Luke,
nice.
he probably doesn't get enough credit for the vision
No,
one.
I feel like he always
He
gets
should be
given
first
votes
pick.
for aerial.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've got Paddy Voss, you've got
Drapes.
Drapes, you've got Sonny, and then you've got Luke.
Yep.
Nice. Bit of a
little
different
mix.
one. I like it.
Yeah, it was a nice mix.
Well done, Coxy. All right, we're moving on to the best segment. We've got Getting Defensive.
I don't like Freo. I've never liked Freo.
Nah, that's a lot of feedback on Twitter,
I know.
so I don't. I'll take
It's all
that
tongue in
back.
cheek.
Alrighty, so this is a round of quick fire questions, and Jordan has started his own medal called the Clark Medal because he's fast, I presume. So it's the quickest person to get through these questions.
Yep.
So we're going to go
have to
through
be
them
right.
and then we'll talk at the end. It's not a
You
quiz.
shouldn't get them wrong.
Can you get your own opinion wrong? I'm not sure.
Oh,
Alrighty,
no,
so Jordan's going to start the clock and we are going to kick things off in 3, 2, 1. Worst thing about having a locker next to Josh Tracy.
He smells.
Best dressed teammate.
Rick.
Favourite board game.
Scrabble.
Death row meal.
KFC.
Last time you called your mum.
Yesterday.
What are you most afraid of?
Spiders.
Coffee of choice.
Flat white.
Pre-game superstition.
Don't have one.
Best junior footy moment.
Winning a grand final kick off the siren.
Name another team you follow in another sport.
LA Lakers.
Biggest name following you on Instagram.
Nat 5.
That's very quick.
Also, I just love that you've grabbed the mic and gone, let me win this.
Yeah,
He's in full control and you were very fast.
he was.
What's
he
the
was
time?
38 seconds. Best dressed teammate for those, Freddie. Well, Freddie. He said Rick, so
Yep.
Freddie, that is.
Yep.
Favourite board game, Scrabble.
That was actually great.
I've never played Scrabble.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, you've never played Scrabble.
I've played it before.
Is that the first thing that came to your mind? I was like, we've had a few Monopolies, but we haven't had a Scrabble yet.
And the fact you've said JT smells when he absolutely douses himself in sexy bouquet or whatever it is.
He does.
Sexy bouquet.
Yeah.
He doesn't smell it.
You got through very quickly.
I'm not sure about Death Row Meal being KFC. That's
No,
it.
if I could change that, I'd change it to pork ribs from Squires.
Oh,
Spiders,
nice.
Yeah, nice. And most afraid of spiders.
Yeah.
Actually, or was that just a throwaway answer?
No, I don't know.
What are you most afraid of? Spiders.
Don't know.
Nothing.
See, Andy said spiders because he was bitten by a spider. Do you have a bad story with a spider or no? Just that's
Don't
what
like
you
'em.
call.
Maybe
And biggest name following on Instagram, Nat5.
Yeah, right.
probably would be. Yeah.
Minwoo?
No, he doesn't follow me.
Oh, we've had a few
I'm
Minwoos.
not a
haven't
good
we?
enough golfer.
Yeah, no, neither am I.
Well done.
No. All
Is that the
right.
record or?
Yeah, it was. That
You've
is
set the record.
38 for Coco. Yep, well done. And now here we go into the McFarlane medal.
Oh, Luke McFarlane right on half-time. It's McFarlane! And leaping McFarlane!
So, Coxy, this is the best defensive act from the weekend. If any don't stand out in your mind, just let me take it away then and you can piggyback off the back of me. But it's not really a defensive act, but it was the little scuffle and seeing our great mate Lukey Ryan run a 150-metre sprint to get involved and then double team Ruben Jimby, I think it was, with Corey Wagner was right up there as one of my favourite highlights from the weekend. So
Brilliant.
whilst Don and Chappie sat back and watched, drinking a cup of tea and talking through game tactics, some of the best vision you'll ever see.
Yeah.
You say that while everyone's having a fight and you're on the bench. So
Oh, well, you can't just run on the ground, can you?
Don't actually run the other way.
oh,
There's
no.
actual footage.
You can't. Well, mine's just going to be a shout out to Youngie. He's going back to his defensive roots. He laid 12 tackles on the weekend, so I think that's a defensive effort in itself. So well done, Hayden. And Coxie, do you have your effort person you want to highlight from the weekend?
Can't really remember much, to be honest, from defensively. I'll piggyback on the Jordans, the fight.
Yeah, nice. Back your best mate in, sure.
Yeah.
Lovely.
All right. There we go. And then this is the great
This
segment.
is
the people's segment where we get to listen to the voice memos or whatever you call them.
Of the public.
Of the public. Let's go.
We've got Nicole.
Hi, Clarky and Emma and guest. I was at the game on the weekend and just wanted to say the McFarlane medal nomination this week has to be Clarky's sprint in the back 50. Unfortunately, Clarky, I think you missed the chomps for boots sign I made for the game on the weekend. Feel free to send the boots up to Carnama and I'll send the chomps in. My question is, with the Olympics on, what other sports do you guys enjoy watching?
I love that was a few statements in that, but yes, we did talk about why we didn't nominate your sprint, but we do love your sprint. And did you see the chomp signs? I reckon there would have been hundreds.
No, I didn't. No.
For context, Coxie, Jordan said that one of his favourite signs ever made was when people stuck chomp chocolates onto a cardboard piece of paper because he said his favourite chocolate was a chomp, even though that's a lie.
Yeah. But I still love a chomp.
What was your favourite?
Mars bar.
Oh.
Or no, milk bar. What is
You
that?
said milk
Yeah.
he's just lied again.
I love chocolate, all right? I'm far out.
Olympics.
Yeah, Olympics. What was the question?
What do you really enjoy watching in the
I've
Olympics?
watched a few sports, and there's a few that I just wonder how they're even in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love like the sports where you've actually got to have a fair bit of talent. Like I watched the BMX last night, and like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like some of those people are crazy and
Yep.
crazy good at what they do.
Yep.
Like
I think
double
everyone is, though.
backflips on
Like,
landing on the concrete and stuff. Like
wild.
yeah. No,
The BMX you're going with, right? Coxie, what do you like watching?
Probably the basketball.
Yeah, nice.
I always like track and field. I reckon when that gets started, that'd be
Yes.
good to watch.
Yeah.
I also,
And swimming.
how good's like the 3v3 like street ball?
Oh, I haven't watched that.
You need to put that on.
Yeah. They're all incredible though.
No,
They all
absolutely.
train so hard for
Yeah.
this opportunity.
And it's also like, you see those memes of like the everyday person sitting back and going, oh, I can't believe they made a mistake. And they're like sitting on the couch with a beer in hand. It's like, this is what it must be for you guys, like people watching footy and just Eddie experts making comments. It's the same thing I feel like with the Olympics, but mine would have to be the gymnastics. Simone Biles, she's an absolute ripper. And also the way they are so flexible but so strong is incredible to watch.
What makes Simone Biles the GOAT? Is it what she does, or is she just like...
She's won more...
Is she just so much better than everyone else?
Yeah. And she's won the most title, like, I think out of everyone in the Olympics. Is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's out of, like, men, women, doesn't matter. She's just won the most consecutive titles, I think.
She's real small as well as
Tiny. Yeah.
I don't know
But
if
she
that's the same
is
as everyone, but
a pocket rocket.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
legend.
Next up, we've got Emily.
Hey, Jordan and Em, massive fans of the potty. We've got a question here for Jordan. Did the sprint to stop the ball at the Derby give you some flashbacks to your Colgate sprint victory at the 2020 Grand Final?
Oh, wow.
Did you win?
Okay.
They've gone into the archives for that one.
Did you win the grand final
Let's
sprint?
just say I'd rather have been playing that day than running in the grand final sprints. That's not one of my proudest days, that's for
They've
sure.
brought it up.
No, thanks for reopening an old scar. It's great of you, Emily. No, I was serious. Just it didn't remind me of anything. I was just happy not to give away a goal. So,
Would you be the fastest on the team? Coxy, who do you reckon's the fastest?
We were actually talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
We think Don over 20,
Yep.
Brennan Walker, and then I think Clarkers would have him by the 100.
Yeah, right.
I'm a terrible starter.
Yeah,
Slow out
start's
the box.
terrible.
Slow out the box.
Makes up ground.
Give me box 1 and I'll win, though.
Perfect. Next we've got Kevin.
Hey, Driz, Clarky. Just want to say I'm a big fan of the pod. I love what you guys are doing. It's been fun to listen to it every week. My question's a bit of a two-parter. Basically, who do we think is the best-looking rooster in the club? And who would think that they're the best-looking in the club? My money's on Banfield at the moment. I think he's easily the standout piece. But other people have said Joshy Draper. I'm keen to hear what you guys think.
Okay, this guy's clearly Banner's best mate. No,
Very rogue
Banner's is a good-looking bloke.
Yeah.
So best looking, and then who do you think out of your team would think they're the best looking?
Oh, it's pretty easy for me. I think Neil Erasmus is a very good-looking bloke, but he also thinks he's a very good bloke.
Perfect.
So that's the easiest
Double whammy,
question
there
for
you
me
go.
to answer.
Yeah. That's good. Carl's a good looking rooster.
Yeah, Carl, he does put a bit of effort
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That little crew,
Yeah.
they really take pride in
Yeah,
how they look and got to look the part. But Banners, he never speaks on about himself.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
He's the rooster, though.
I don't think we've got anyone that thinks they're good looking. I'm going to say Michaela Morrison, though. She does love brushing her eyelashes in the mirror prior to training.
Yeah,
and there are 2 girls that are wearing eyelash extensions at the moment that will refuse to not wear a hat out there to cover their lashes from the rain. So that is ridiculous.
You've just sprung me. That's why I always wear out.
That's what it is. Keep your lashes dry.
Hey, but we're all beautiful now.
Yeah, of
mate.
course.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's keep going.
All
Jude?
right. Yep.
How's it going, guys? Just first of all wanted to say that you are talking to the real king of Kenzo. Clarky, he's more like the prince, I'd say. But, I was even the head boy down at the primary school there at one stage. But I just wanted to know, what's your favourite game you've either played in, been a part of, or watched as a neutral, maybe like a grand final or something? Cheers.
Jude, you can't talk like that and claim you're the king of Kensington. I dozed off halfway through.
Nah, head boy of the primary school.
it's
He's probably got
it's
a bit
big
of
deal.
authority around
Yeah.
the traps, doesn't he?
It's a big deal.
That's all right. If you can have the primary school, mate. I love the pub.
I actually forgot the question.
Favourite game?
Game or childhood game or
Yep.
sport memory you've been a part of.
You brought up.
Probably that Bulldogs final. Oh, yeah. But probably, I'd say the Bulldogs final was probably the best one.
Yeah, cool.
That
Was he saying childhood, though?
I
Was it
think it is.
childhood,
And if you're going from childhood.
Oh,
anything.
we won a grand final with a kick after the siren.
Yep, sick.
In under 14s or 12s or something like that. So probably that one.
Nice.
Well, yeah, AFL's clearly the standout. Yeah, the elimination final here at Optus. But, yeah, childhood. Mine would probably be a cricket game, I reckon. Just taking a couple of
Yeah, I
bowls.
was going to say basketball
Yeah.
game. Did you remember a specific cricket game?
No, we don't need to go into details, Em.
I mean, everyone's tracking your AFL fantasy. They want to know what you used to get the stats back in the day.
No, we don't talk about ourselves on this podcast.
All right. No, mine would definitely be a basketball game. We won the under-13s championships for Northern Basketball Association, and it's one that I will never forget. So that's brilliant.
Well done. And number 5, we got Penny.
Hi Emma, Geordie, and this week's guest. This is Penny.
Penny.
Great derby. Got a bit rough out there at times. Boy, Clarky, you can hit the accelerator when you need to. It was so cool. Just wondering if you can ask Sharpie if he'd like to come round for a game of canasta. It's a big extended family game at our place. Good luck for the rest of the season. Behind you all the way to the top. See ya.
Thanks, Penny.
Yes, I'm
Clarky's got the foot to the accelerator.
Like a cheap Ford Focus.
Pedal to the metal. Also, I still don't know what
Canaster.
Canaster is.
Canaster. Yeah, Sharpie'd love to go around though, Penny. We'll tee it up. We'll send him over there.
We'll tell
right?
him.
Yeah.
Canaster. I'm looking it up.
We'll let you know, but we'll run it past Sharpie. I'm sure he's keen. He loves the fans getting around him.
Canaster is a card game.
Yeah. What is it?
Love it, just normal
A
cards.
variant of 500 rum.
I don't know what that is either.
Yeah, no, we're getting nowhere.
It's a variation of a card game, like playing cards.
Of another game we don't know.
Yeah, perfect.
I thought maybe that was his favourite game. Maybe.
Yeah, so it's Sharpie's favourite board game, but then we still didn't know what it was, and then obviously Penny's like, it's our family thing, but we're not 100%
And it's not even a board game.
So maybe Penny, write in again and tell us what it is. Next, we got Grant.
Hey, Driz and Clarky. Grant here.
Grant, sorry.
30-year member. Loving the pod, by the way. Just had a question regarding jumper numbers. Is there anybody in the team that has a really special reason for their jumper number? Why do you guys choose yours? Is there a reason behind it, or is it just basically whatever was left over in the kit when you got drafted with the club? Love to hear some stories.
Nice. Sorry, Grant, not Grant.
Yeah. Grant, 30-year member too. What a great man.
That's incredible.
Great man. Well, mine originally started when I got to Geelong. I was actually offered Matthew Scarlett's number 30, but number 6 was free, and number 6 was sort of my favourite junior number.
Why?
Because I won a flag in it when I was under 15s in Albany and played with my brothers and that in it.
In Albany when you missed 101 days of school?
Yeah. But got back for footy on the weekend. And yeah, I took number 6, and then when I came back to Freo, number 6 was available, so I just sort of jumped straight back into it. So no real meaning to me, but
30's a heavy number for a halfback as well.
Yeah.
I was given 36 when I was drafted, but then no one had played 100 games for 36, so I suppose that's why I didn't change, and yeah, I like 36 as a number.
Love it. 3 was the only small number available when I was drafted. Everything was above 20 at that point, and I just really liked 3. And a fun fact, ever since I started playing football, I've not played in a jumper that hasn't had a number 3 in it for every team I've played footy for. So 23, 33, 3. Perfect. So that's why. It's great.
Yes, well done. And some good voice memos there.
Yes.
Just remember that leave your voice memo in the podcast show notes or on the YouTube description, or even keep an eye out for the Instagram story and the link on there. Just a huge thank you, though. We get so many memos every week. It's impossible to fit you all in. So if you still want to get on board, just keep sending them in. I'm sure at some point you'll get the nod from our crew.
Yes. Otherwise, just keep commenting, liking, subscribing, and then, like I said, putting in those voice memos, because our crew do love listening, and we're going to have to create an extra segment or another podcast that's just listening to your voice memos because we love them so much. Coxy, what did you think of the voice memos? Good?
Yeah, I loved them. It was good to hear them. Yeah,
Beauty.
should get some more in.
Yeah, I agree. And even better, because we've got a big game this weekend, so I think there's going to be lots to talk about when you guys take on Essendon. Yes, just checking that. Sorry,
Yeah,
I can't read. Essendon at the G on Sunday. How pumped are we heading into this game?
Yep, very pumped. They've been copping it a fair bit in the media, so they're going to come out firing, and season on the line for them. So, we expect their best, and hopefully get it done against them. Would be good.
Absolutely.
Yep, no, similar to Coxy, expecting a really good contest, a tight one, fiercely fought out, I suppose, and we are expecting their best, and they're a very potent team when they get it going. So
absolutely,
we've got to be on our game, that's for sure. But looking forward to that opportunity this week. And
fly out tomorrow.
Yeah, yep, and a rare game at the G for us, which is nice. So.
Absolutely.
But anyway, that's all for us, guys. We're wrapping it up. Coxie's got to get home and be a dad.
Yep.
He's got to help Kia out. She can't do it all. So thanks. First of all, how do you think you went?
Good, I think.
I thought you were very good too. He was a bit of a natural.
He was really fast, quick fire.
He was. He got the record.
Yeah.
But that's all. Thanks, guys, for listening to the Better Down Back podcast, powered by MyPlace.